What's up, guys? We here looking at the karting that I just did at Whilton Mill, and it was Club 100. So I'm going to jump into a quick sim to show you the track and to explain a few things about what happened at the karting that I did at Whilton Mill this last week. Yeah, I'll take you around. As you can see from the image before, you need mainly four things. Now, gloves are quite important. I used pretty much Sparko Sim gloves, which this ended up happening a massive blister. So I've got a blister there, and I've also got a little blister down at the bottom. I don't know if you can see it, but you can see that one's popped. On my other hand, I've got a blister there. It just hasn't popped. So yeah, not fun in terms of trying to race, because this happened already within, I think, after the second race, and I already had blisters. And then the third race, so there's four races. There was a practice that was, I think, about 15 minutes practice. Then we had our first race, which was 10 minutes, second race, which was 10 minutes, a third race, which was 10 minutes. Now those three races determine your position for the final race, which is the main race. There's no qualifying. So yeah, so gloves are pretty important. These karts are pretty quick, but let's get out on the track and show you. Okay, so we're going to go around the track. There's the start finish line. This is the first corner that's pretty much flat out. Second corner, a bit of a lift, but then you carry on going out, and you don't want to run out all the way. Well, it's track limits if you run out all the way. By that height, you want to kind of brake, turn in, late apex, come down, jump onto that curb, which I didn't do. And jump onto that curb flat, come down here, brake around this area, go all the way out, in here. So I'm taking this really slow because my hands are killing me, and I just want to show you the lap. By this little hut on the right, you brake, turn in, stick to the left, come in, and then this is where it all changes. So the new track, you go in here and you come back up onto the start finish straight, come down, stick to the right, climb onto the curb, let go, back on the pedal. You can touch the curb there, but you don't want to be all four wheels over. Brake over here, hard braking, turn in, don't do that, jump the curb, go over this curb. That corner is really nice if you get it right. Brake hard. This corner, you want to go out, come back in. At that little opening, you want to brake, turn in. You can come out, probably out to there. Late apex here. Climb onto that curb. Out you go. And then back. Brake at the hut. Inside. Outside. And then do the new course, which is in there, out that way, not so crazy, and then this way. So obviously the sim doesn't have that piece. Now the three races, there were a few incidents. I didn't manage to do video record everything. I got some images that I set up my Insta360 on the side of the track where it was by the start finish line, so I got some footage of that. But my GoPro that was supposed to mount to the kart was flat. I charged it all night, and I think when I put it in the bag, somehow it got turned on. By the time I got to the track, it was flat. So that was a bit disappointing, because I would have actually liked to use that, because I had a few incidents that was very frustrating, and I believe cost me a podium position. So, well, I know it cost me a podium position, but we'll talk about that when we get to that. One of the issues, the problem I had, I was racing with a guy, and just so you know, when we come to it, we came through here. I came out a lot quicker, and I was on the outside, yeah, he was on the inside, and I was passing him. And around here, we need to start braking. He pushed me onto the grass, so I had to kind of yield and let him go through, because he didn't give me space. He wouldn't let me pass. Another, I think about a lap or two later, we came through here, and now the new track goes this way, and then it's got like a little curb that you can climb onto, right? But you have to come out this way and then turn in. I was ahead of him. He climbed the curb and pushed us both off the track. So the guy behind us passed us, and that's what he did, just so I couldn't pass him. It was ridiculous. Like, I don't know how the stewards in all these boxes around the whole track. Here's one. You'll see these boxes. There's stewards in all these boxes all the way around the track to check the race, and if you're keeping your kart within the track limits. And I don't know how they did not see how bad this guy was driving. It made me very frustrated after the race. It's pretty much too late to say anything. It is what it is, but you know, it's you can't prove it because there's no video footage. So that's why I wish I had my GoPro on my kart, so I could have showed what was going on. But anyway, besides the point, that's pretty much the track. It's a lot of fun, and let's get to some of the footage, and let me explain to you how everything works. Another thing about the gear that you need to use, so obviously I mentioned the gloves to protect your hands, but the rib protectors, like, you don't actually understand how much that comes into play. So you get rib protectors that come around, go over your shoulders, and that helps with like you leaning in your cart, as well as like the G-forces going through corners. You're taking the corners really quick, and your ribs get pushed into the seat of that cart, right? So after this, I'll put up an image that shows you what my ribs look like after the race. Yeah, I'll put up an image of my ribs and my hands side by side, but my ribs were completely bruised with a rib guard. So yeah, I think if you're gonna ride these cars to its full potential, not having a rib guard is not a good idea. Yeah, they're a lot of fun to ride. Like, if you get a chance to ever sign up and do Club 100, it's something that you should do. It's very professional. The thing is, if you haven't driven quick karts before, outdoor karts, don't bother. First go and race some outdoor karts, see how quick you are, because the level at Club 100 is extremely high. These guys are really, really quick and very professional. Yeah, it's, if you're gonna ride around a track and be really slow, I raced with someone before that was so slow they banned them from racing Club 100. Yeah, the competition is pretty high. But yeah, that's it. Let's show you some footage. It is, definitely.
Just a couple of safety things for the sake of our new driver and the refresher for you all. The big spinning out rules, okay? If you do lose it, if you run out of talent and you go into a spin, get your foot down on the brake. Do not allow your car to roll backwards across the track.
Back here at Whilton Mill.
every race you get a few minutes to get out your cart, stretch, get something to drink, and then get ready to get back into the cart.
Third place in Clubman's today. Finishing in, I'm just checking this out actually guys, finishing actually in 15th position. Well done indeed. Third in Clubman's today. That goes to driver number 43, Matt Kiddock. Well done, Matt.
So Matt, that just got third position, is an ex-F4 racing driver, and it is his first time at Club 100, and he did really well. I think I could have got this third position, and I'll tell you why after this.
First time with us as well. Very good, very good, very good. Your runner-up in Clubman's then, finishing 13th overall, but runner-up in Clubman's today, driver number 30, Jen Taylor-Moore. But ladies and gentlemen, winning the Clubman class today, finish and in 4th position overall. It goes to the bandit that is Mr. James Pargeter.
I'm going to try and keep this quick and short. The race was, like I said from the beginning, you get there, it's very professional. You have to go and sign in. You just have to put your address and your car license plate, put your signature, and then if you don't have kit, so if you don't have gloves, helmets, or a suit, or even rib protectors, they will supply you with everything you need to race in the Club 100. Once you've got all your equipment, then you go and do weigh-in. Weigh-in, you have to be 85 kilos or above. If you are less than 85 kilos, then you have to get weights. So they got lead weights, circular lead weights that sit on top of, well, there's like clamps on the back of the cart that they slide onto, and that then obviously increases the weight to a minimum of 85, and 85 kind of levels out the race for everyone, because if you're too light, your cart's just going to be quite a bit quicker. Yeah, once you've weighed in, you get a timetable where you're going to sit, well, which cart you're going to use. So you'll be like I was cart 47. They'll say, okay, you cart 47, go. Everyone gets into their carts, and then once you get into your cart, then you've got, I think it's around 15 minutes to practice. It might be 10 minutes, I can't remember, but it's 10 minutes of practice. And if it's your first time, it's good to get in some practice laps, but you get so tired that your arms and everything gets exhausted. So you want to try and maybe keep some of that energy and your strength for the racing. Then you get your first race, which is just random grid. Everyone's in a random grid. You get 10 minutes. There's a safety car that will take you out on your first formation lap, and then after your formation lap, after the formation lap ends, safety car will go off. You stay in your lines, and this is something that I didn't do, right? I'm so used to sim racing, you know, as it goes green, you slip out and try and pass cars. You can't do that in Club 100. You have to stay in the grid line no matter what. You can push the car in front of you forward, you can push them forward, but you have to stay within the lines until you pass the start finish line. So it's not the first car that passes the start finish line the race starts. Everyone has to still stay in their lines until you have passed the start finish line. So I did that, and I actually got a penalty for that. So the next race I got a grid penalty. After each race you get a few minutes to just get out the cart. like stretch and get something to drink, get back into a kart. It's quite a small window for you to just get whatever you want and then get back into a kart for the next race. They'll put you in another random formation, and all of these formations, whatever you finish in these races, is what calculates your points to put you in the grid for the final race, which is the main race. The second race, I think I was doing pretty well. I was ahead of 2 guys, and there was a back marker that spun out in front of me on the second last lap, and as I came around, I just was right behind him, so I had to slow down so much so I don't crash. So I had to like slow down to not crash into him. The momentum that I lost, the 2 guys behind me, even though I went past him, I didn't have the momentum to like really go. So the 2 guys behind me had got momentum because they saw what was going on. They didn't need to slow down as much, and they went past me. That was the second last lap. So I lost 2 positions in that race, which then affected my points. On the third race, I think I had a decent race there. I was just a bit fatigued because I was racing like some of the premium guys that were really quick. I just made 1 or 2 mistakes where I lost a few positions, but still overall decent amount of pace. And then the final race came. Started on the grid, everything was going well, made a few overtakes, and then I got stuck behind a guy that literally did everything in his power to stop me from overtaking him, right? Now, I know racing, you can't just let someone overtake you, but you also don't make it dangerous. Like, I would come out of a corner, and like I showed you on the sim, I came out of that one corner where you jump onto a chicane, and I was on the right, he was on the inside. When I came to a braking point, he literally pushed my kart onto the grass. And after the race, the guy that came third was behind us. So he came third, he was behind us, and he said he saw how he pushed me onto the grass. So I had to heel that corner and let him go forward. And then about 2 laps later, it was somewhere around there, 1-2 laps, somewhere around there, we were going through the new chicane at the end, and he came out wide before we got to that chicane. So I cut in on the inside, and I was on the inside, and as we came in to go through the chicane, so you'd come in this way and then back out and then onto the straight. So coming in this way, I was in front, right? So when you have to turn back this way, I'm about to turn, he literally jumped over the curb and pushed us both off the track. When he pushed us both off the track, then the guy that came third, the F1 driver Matt, that got third position, he went past us. We came back onto the track, carried on racing, and that's how it finished. This guy just did everything in his power not to let me through. And you know, if he just raced fairly, like I did get past him just before the first incident where he started pushing me off. I got past him fair and square, and then there was a crash in front of us, so I had to go the long way around. He took the short way around and he got back in front of me, but I was definitely much quicker than him, because every time I tried to pass him after that, he just made sure he'd either cut me off or like close the gap, or he literally did everything in his power. And like I said, he literally crossed the curb. He wanted to take both of us out, so I literally, when he jumped over the curb, I went to the side so he doesn't crash into me, and I went kind of off the track, and then he slid back onto the track right at the end, and then we obviously let Matt pass to finish third. Well done to him. First race. He is a ex-F4 driver, so he did have a lot of pace. But yeah, it's just unfortunate that you got to race people like that just don't race fair. Like race hard, but don't, try and take people out, push them onto grass, race fair. That was the only disappointing part of this go-karting experience. Yeah, we do it once, twice a year. This year, I think I might do it 3 times. The next race is in Landau, which is in Wales, and it's in September. So hopefully it's not wet then, because the karts are a lot slower in the wet, obviously. That race, hopefully I can have my GoPro set up, because like I said, my GoPro died, and you can mount it on the front. That way you would have been able to see all the fighting and everything that went on, instead of me trying to explain it right now without you seeing it visually. So next race is Landau, September. Hopefully I got my GoPro sorted and we can show you some proper footage of the karts and how much fun they are. But yeah, that's it from me, guys.